Hi, I'm Lacey, your Las Vegas gal.
No, I'm Lacey, your Las Vegas gal. I wasn't even ready to start, but we're going to go ahead. This is Steve Carter from the Cerrone Group. You always do that to me.
I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Whatever. Today we're gonna start talking about one of the largest questions that we're hearing from you guys. The first question is usually, should I sell my house? But the other question is now a good time to buy? Am I crazy if I buy right now? Should I even buy a house ever? And we want to say, yes, it's okay. Yes, you're fine. We promise we'll take care of you. And we're going to talk today a little bit about what to expect, what you should do to make sure that you're strongly walking into the market, ready to do the right thing and get what you need out of it. And I don't know, some other stuff that we'll come up with. So stick around.
So we're actually getting more and more inventory on the market every day.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit on the past videos that I've done about how there's just such low inventory. There's still low inventory.
It's low,
but we're starting to see it creep up. Why is that, Steve?
More people are feeling confident about the market, and they're feeling like, okay, this pandemic's over.
At least it is in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's definitely over in Las Vegas. And they're ready to move forward, right? Yeah. So that's really cool. So buyers out there, now you have, I'm going to say a good 20-30% more homes to choose from that I've been seeing on the MLS. So.
Yeah, I like seeing the uptick, and we don't know if it'll fall again, but right now as we're entering into summer's typically a slower time because a lot of people are going on vacation, or they're getting ready to move across country, or they're just like, it's too damn hot out. I mean, who the hell wants to go shopping for a house when it's hot out? You do if you want to buy a house right now, trust us. So for us, because we're seeing the influx in inventory, and by influx, we want to make sure we make sure that you understand what that means. It's a slight lift, but we're hoping will go better, and that it'll even get better as the fall comes around. We want to make sure that you know that while you are a buyer, it is still very much a seller's market, but we also believe it's a buyer's market if you are prepared and you're walking in strongly with all of your ducks in a row, and that's what we're here to help you do. So what are some of those ducks that we want to make sure people know about and kind of prepare for?
Well, what I do with every buyer that I talk to on the phone first is I try to set your expectations so you have an idea what you're walking into.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have any extra funds besides your closing costs and your down payment that you might be able to throw on your offer above the appraised value?
I know it can feel kind of scary, like why would I buy a house right now because I'm paying more than it's being listed for, but this is the kind of the cake that we're being baked, and we have to make sure that we know how to eat it. Ooh, you like that?
I love cake.
I don't even think I did that very well, but it was okay.
I like cake, so I love cake.
Stop it. But no, truly, this is the cards that we're being dealt. If you want to move, this is kind of the situation that you're walking into, but just know, as you're buying the house and you're possibly going to have to pay a little bit above what they're asking, the houses are elevating and appraising right alongside those price points that people are paying for. So it's not that big of a wash. If you're buying a house that appraises for higher than what they were asking for originally, you're good. You're still making money, or you might be able to make money within about a year, right?
Yeah, I think there is some justification definitely for doing this. If you're coming from a state that's a lot more expensive than Las Vegas, then pay a little extra to move to Vegas, and I guarantee your prices will still be a lot less overall. Also, the interest rates are freakishly low. So they're historically low. They're going to be historically low for the near 2
years, I believe. I think it's supposed to be the next 2 years.
When you hedge that against a 2% standard inflation rate and it's going up from that, you're almost getting a free mortgage when you look at it that way. So,
I mean, free is hard to say, but definitely you need to be looking at the numbers and crunching the numbers. And that's why we work with really strong loan officers who help you kind of really look at the lay of the land before you even step forward and work with our team, right? Yeah. It's the first step in the process, and we know who to connect you to because we have wizards of Waverly Place when it comes to making the loans come to life for you. Amber is definitely a wizard. Okay. Amber Coleman from Guild Mortgage is one of our favorites.
Call her a wizard. Tell her Steve said
Tell her she's a wizard. Anyway, so as a buyer, you're definitely going to need to walk in knowing that you're going to have to pay a little bit more than what they're asking. So for example, if you have a loan amount for $350,000 and the house is listed for $350,000, we're going to need you to be prepared to come in above $350,000 and guarantee that difference with extra funds outside of your closing costs and outside of your down payment.
Because there's most likely 10 to 20 offers
to 40
on that property,
to 70,
to 100 on that property, and they're going to be doing the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Just offering list what they're asking for the property, you're not going to get anything.
Something to also understand, and if it's your first time, this might be a little bit confusing, but it's a really important key to this entire process. When you get a loan for a mortgage, the house has to be appraised for what you're paying or greater. Otherwise, the loan will not be approved, and you won't. The lender is not going to say, "Sure, I'm going to give you this money," even though the house isn't even worth that much money. So just know that the appraisal is going to be a big part of the conversation, and a lot of our buyers are having to waive the appraisal. What the hell does that mean, Steve?
that means you're basically offering cash, as in what you offer is what you're going to pay. So if let's give you some numbers. Let's say the appraisal comes in at $300, but what you offered was $400. If you waived that appraisal, which I try to not recommend unless you really have to, then you'd have to cover that $100,000.
And let's hit that again. So we don't recommend that you do that, but that is kind of what's happening in the market. So what we do to help you with that process is we take a look at the comps, we contact anybody in the area who has a house listed that's similar to the one that you're looking at, and we try to understand where the appraisals are coming in so that when we put your offer in, we can guarantee, that you don't go over that amount that you're okay and comfortable with paying. The other thing that people are doing that we're loving seeing is if you have to waive the appraisal in order to even get the house or be approved from the seller to say, yeah, we'll take your offer. Sometimes it's a really smart thing to say, we'll offer $30,000 above what you're asking. However, we're only going to pay out of pocket up to $10,000 above what it appraises for. So what that does is it gives you a little bit of a fail-safe so that you may be offering $430 and it comes in at $420, and that's great because that's only $10,000 out of pocket. But if you're offering $430 and it comes in at $400, then you're only going to have to pay $410.
Yeah.
Hope that made sense.
Same out of pocket, but yeah, that's a big fail-safe.
Yeah.
And that guaranteed funds, that's what we like to call it, that can range anywhere from $5,000 on up, depending on the area.
Yeah, we've seen up to $100,000 above list price because people just want that house.
Yeah. So I don't want to scare anybody, but where are you seeing clients pay $100,000 above appraisal?
Listen, the $100,000, the big whammy, the people coming in with that big old check is likely going to be in Summerlin or some of the larger areas, more bougie areas, if you will, of Henderson. So don't stress, that's not across the entire valley. That's really only when it's a super special house, custom, or something that's in a neighborhood that is so hot, school-wise or amenities-wise, that people will do anything to get in there. So there's only a couple of areas of town.
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere. Another thing that people should expect is repairs. So a lot of people, when they're buying a home, and especially if you're paying above what they're asking and then you're guaranteeing money, it gets a little nerve-wracking when you get an inspection report back that has a bunch of items that you want to have repaired and the seller might say no. And the seller's allowed to say no. And that's really kind of a tough pill to swallow as a buyer. I'd say that's probably the hardest process in the purchasing process with our buyers that gets really sticky, that we have to just warn you in advance about. So right now, sellers do have a little bit of the power when it comes to things like repairs. So we want to make sure that you're going in eyes wide open, knowing you can cancel if the repairs look too outrageous. You can cancel for any reason at all during our due diligence period. We'll have that conversation with you and explain what that looks like. But do not come into this expecting to get everything fixed on the list or anything fixed on the list. There's just no guarantee that they're going to do anything at all. So I know we've talked about a lot of the process and we've thrown a lot at you, but the bottom line is, heck yeah, it's still a good time to buy. Yes, it's a little bit of a seller's market, right? But we want to make sure that you know it's still a buyer's market too, as long as you have the right agents to work with you. One of the other biggest selling points right now, just that we didn't even touch on that I think is important, is
huge. That's absolutely huge.
Vegas is still growing. Yeah. Vegas is booming right now. We have a ton of amazing projects coming to town. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we're turning into a big metropolis. So we have future sports teams expected to be coming to Las Vegas. I'm going to leave it at that. But then we have new casinos being announced, including the Drew, which is also going to have conventions and lots of different employee options for if you're looking for something in more of the hospitality industry.
They just renovated the convention center completely. The Resorts World just opened up. They've got
gorgeous,
that MSG Sphere, that big ball thing that's supposed to be finished up in the next couple of years. That's another entertainment opportunity. So the city is still thriving. We're still building. We're expecting still tourism to be a major component of what we do here, but we're also diversifying and bringing in tons of entrepreneurs. A lot of Northern California, Silicon Valley tech type companies are moving to Las Vegas thanks to all the amazing tax breaks and all the wonderful things that we do offer to people who want to live here. So it's still happening, baby. Vegas isn't just going to turn into LA, which is, often thought of as overpriced and things like that. Yeah. We're going to balance it out. We want you to know when you move to Las Vegas, you can move here confidently knowing that the city is doing everything that they can to support all of this influx and growth and make sure that we can stabilize and hold you guys here so that you don't bounce here and then bounce back to where you came from. So yes, it's still a good time to buy. We're hoping that we gave you a lot of good information. I know it's kind of all over the place and it kind of feels like that when we're doing it, but what we can promise you, the thing that I know that we bring to the table is a couple of things. We're really badass negotiators and we've had a really good track record so far in this crazy market that we're seeing of getting our clients into the homes that they want. Would you agree?
I 100% agree, yeah.
We're also super fun. Hold on, let me talk about this. We're also super freaking fun. If you get to work with someone like me or badass Steve over here, along with the rest of our team, we make it fun, and we do a really good job of, I would say, communicating expectations, but also just communicating and making you feel like you have a friend next to you.
Yeah, you basically have a friend shopping with you.
Yeah. So. Are you my friend, even though I'm cutting you off?
I'm used
still
to
sort
it.
of friends?
I'm used to it, so we're good.
We're still. What else, Steve?
I don't know. Do you want to just finish the rest of it?
I guess so. If you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas at all, please do us a favor. Just call us. Click the link below. We're really ready to call, talk to you, give you all the options that you have, connect you with a lender so you can run those numbers. It's super important to know those numbers in advance.
It is 100%. So.
What else, Steve? I'm just going to let you finish it.
Hi, follow me on Instagram, my OnlyFans.
Click the link below. Steve does have a channel. It's in the description below. It's Battleborn Steve. He puts out really awesome content about lifestyle and real estate, and we want to make sure that we're supporting him as well. So do me a favor, give him a big old thumbs up, a big old subscribe, and tell him he's cute in his videos. He'll like it. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. We're hoping to work with you as a buyer. If you're thinking about buying in another part of the country, you can call us as well. We've got some really good people that can help you do that too. We've got friends in high places all over the country.
All over.
We'll see you next time.